Hello everyone, how are you guys doing? If you're just joining, how are you? That's right, this is 2 weeks in a row. I just spit all over the place. 2 weeks in a row, I'm doing a live stream. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. I hope you're doing good today, or this evening, or morning, wherever you are. If you're just joining, my name is Aaron. VFX artist, CG generalist, educator, a bunch of other stuff. You guys know. Anyway, just wanted to jump on and do another live stream. And we're going to talk about some Cinema 4D animation stuff, some little tips and tricks. I had this thought today while I was working on some stuff, and I thought, you know what? You guys deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve a couple of cool tips and tricks that I've learned while doing a little bit of a couple animation things, and thought, these are just little things. These aren't going to, maybe for some of you this will be groundbreaking, but these are just things that are going to help you when you're doing this stuff. Let me know if the music's too loud. I can turn that down. Maybe I'll do it right now. Probably gonna get flagged, right? But yeah, say hello if you're just joining. I want to see who's here. Who do we have? Let's check. Right on. We got people on Facebook. We got people on Twitter. We got people on Twitch. We got Facebook, Twitch. I was trying to get LinkedIn to work too. I was gonna see if that's a thing, if that works. Let me know if everything's looking good, sounding good, because I don't know. Before I start, I actually wanted to kind of do spotlights on some artists or things that I've seen recently that I was like, you know what, that's really cool. So what do you guys think? Should we do a quick spotlight? I'm gonna show you some guys' work that I really respect and admire. And if you guys know of other artists that you really like, share their work with me. And a good place to share your stuff with me is if you go to my Instagram. I'll show you my Instagram. Go to my Instagram.com/VFX_. Come on now. Central. Okay, let me share my screen with you. This is just a great way to get in contact with me. Instagram is usually the best way I've found. So, okay, let's pop over there really quick. Sorry, let me get OBS up. Okay, so yeah, let's go. There we go. So yeah, this is me and all my stuff. I haven't posted some stuff in a little while. It's been a little crazy, but yeah, so shoot me a message here, follow me. I'd love to follow some of you guys back, or follow you all back. Just follow me, and then we can chat about stuff. So yeah, and then here's the artist I wanted to highlight today. So this dude, I've seen him post a lot of really, really cool stuff. Yen, hopefully I said your name right. So this shot I saw and I was like, whoa, that is stunning and beautiful. And before I even knew, I was like, I bet you that's Clarice. I bet you that's Clarice, just looking at it. Sure enough, you can see over here in ArtStation, Clarice, Houdini, Nuke, and some Python. He did some Python scripting to set up, I believe, the scattering system properly. So the vegetation would, I think, be in the right spot through Houdini. And then I think he did all the scattering layout, Houdini, and then sent it over to Clarice and put it all together. Some other cool techniques I was looking through his process that he used. So here it is. This is Houdini. He does beautiful chain. You can see he's like, okay, there's the road setup, background setup, foreground. You know, you break it up into different layers like that. And then, yeah, here's some of his Houdini setup. This is a lot of work. But yeah, so this looks like the attributes here and Houdini, and then here's the Clarice material linker. So he linked that up. And there's obviously a little bit of that Python scripting, which that is like over my head. Create all these cool vegetation, and it looks like he did, what do you use? These are Alembic exports, right? And he did Houdini. So then he brings it all together in Clarice. And you can see here's where he was setting up the scene, those houses. So yeah, I'm curious what he did here, if those are proxies. Yeah, there's the road setup. Exporting layout from Clarice as a USD file. So he's USD. Which is cool. And then here's the Clarice, smooth shaded viewport when he's setting that all up. There's the roads. It's looking good. It's just a cool way to set this all up. Then, and the lighting and AOV rebuild. So he did, there's the overscan rendered for digital map painting, masked for look dev. Then he did some projections over stuff to go in and paint the extra detail. So a lot of times, you can render something out and it looks good, but then if you add that extra detail by painting over your landscapes. Sure enough, God rays and comp, and then he does clouds are just on cards, and yeah, really, really cool work. So that was his stuff. And the other person I was going to highlight really quick, and the reason why is because it's relevant. It's because I believe that Yen, yes, right here, he also shared, so he helped these guys on this project. And look at this project. Like, wow. I saw this and I was like, that is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful work. So what do you guys think? Pretty cool stuff, right? Make sure to pull up. Excites people, YouTube. Yeah. So really, really cool stuff. Anyway, I thought that was fun to share. These guys do really cool work. Anyway, so let's jump in to Cinema 4D, shall we? So I'm going to show you a couple of techniques, things that have been helpful for me. And like I said, hopefully they'll be helpful for you. So what I'm going to do, my computer's going really slow right now. It's probably time to reformat and redo everything. Is we're going to start with Cube, and I'm just going to quickly, so if you don't know how to create a simple rig, we're just going to do this really fast, just so if you're new to animation, then you can be like, okay, now I at least know how to set this up. So you want to come in here to the joint tool, and you can go into your right, front, whatever angle, and hold Control, and then you drag, and then you drag again. So, okay, there's the joints in the middle of the box and the cube. But with the cube, you want to make sure that you have subdivisions high so that it can bend and twist. So let me turn on the shading, and I'm going to turn off the ground plane, the working plane. So now that you have these joints that are the child of the cube, and let me turn the size of this up. I don't know why the icon size in here is so teeny. It's probably my monitor size. So yeah, you have the child and you have all these. So if I move these right now, it's going to do nothing. So what you need to do is select all of this, including the cube, and go up into character, and then you're going to, I got to make sure this is editable before. Again, select all these, character, bind. So now they just created a whole weight system, and now you can see, like that, you already have a nice little cube that you can animate. And so you could maybe animate the root if you wanted to move the position. Yeah, maybe we'll do like just a little jump thing. So start here, This is almost like when you're doing your pose to pose. Go up to here. And go to there, but let's make sure that the y is at 0. Wait, no. What was the root at? And then we'll go back down to there. So if I play this back, sorry, my mic's in the way. Wow, looks so good, right? So, Ahmed, you're asking me, do I use Clarice? Yes, I do. I love Clarice. It's amazing. We'll do some more stuff on that. So I'm gonna hide. Let me hide myself in OBS really quick, so you guys can just see the display. So okay, so now you have this wonderful little cube that's just moving like that. Let me show you some things that we can do to make it look a little bit cooler. So the first thing is we can do, you can click on this little keyframe button and you can come up here and there's these different modes. So this is the dope sheet and then you have the F curve. So the F curve is what we would really want to mess with how things are going to move. And if I want him to like launch off more abruptly, you know, we could, or if you want to build some anticipation or something like that, and then delay at the top. So what we could do is I'm gonna actually, when the cube actually takes off, I'm gonna make it more sharp, but I'm gonna move these keyframes over so it delays a little bit and goes like up, and then it's gonna go down. So, and maybe the down part we want to be a little bit sharper. So see if you hold, there we go. If you hold control, it'll do both sides, but if you hold shift, it's going to start messing with this. So it all depends on what you're trying to achieve, but yeah, if you go whoop, and then you want to speed, maybe land a little bit faster, could do something like that. So it's like, it delays a little bit in the air and then it comes back down. We can make this delay a little bit bigger. And maybe we don't want this to actually slide in. We may want it to like hit harder. So if you want to hit harder, be more linear, you can just bring this in and then we could just tighten it up. So that makes it like whoop, bonk. This is a little cartoony, but that's okay. Because then you can add some other things to give it more personality. So then you can do some other fun things. Now that we have the joints in there, so we could take this joint and let's say do a keyframe there. And then maybe it bends over. So it goes hood. And I believe we could even like squish it. So it's like getting ready to jump. Let's go in here, make sure, okay. And I believe if you go on this will just do selected. And I, like I said, I want to bring this down. I'm just going to squish it. And then you want it to like go up first. Maybe straighten out. These are really tight. So it goes whoomp. And then you would want the body to delay a little bit. Whoomp. See if I can copy paste. Oops. Go, let's see. There we go. So go back to its shape. Maybe we need to delay that a little bit. Let's see. These are just little techniques, so we're already getting a little bit better. So then I'm gonna just select all this because it's a little too fast. We can stretch this whole thing out. But maybe we liked the root position stuff that was faster. So we could take, yeah, I don't like how slow that part goes, so. Boom. Squish, and then I'll go back up. The other thing I forgot to do was actually probably before I did the joint stuff, let me hide joint stuff, is the root. I actually probably should have went like, when it gets to the top, actually it's jumping like this. Let's see, down. I should have made it go like at an angle, you know? For muscles, I mean, Cinema 4D does have some muscle stuff. I haven't played with it quite yet, but I would like to. Oh, the other thing we could have done is made this a, you can give it a boop, 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 IK chain. So now you can use just one controller. See that? But I think I have it on the wrong side. That's okay. We could actually possibly flip this thing around. See, because now when it moves up, we'd have to have this joint be underneath. So now it wouldn't move like that, but you could just use one thing to control like that. Let me hide the display. So yeah, see, you can use this as well, the IK tool, which is sweet. The problem is I think I didn't set it up properly because it's going the other way, and usually you want to bend it like you want to have it bent the other way, but oh well. Maybe I could twist it. Let's see what that does. Okay, we twisted it the other way. We might be able to get away with that. So yeah, this is just another thing you can do too, along with, you know, adding these things. I actually don't know if I want to even add this thing in there, so I'm not going to do it. Like I was saying, something good to do is animate a little bit of the rotation too. So I could have come in here first and given it just a little bit more of a rotation. So I'm going to go in here and do this. Maybe it bends a little bit. And then when it starts going this way, have it like rotate. See, it flips pretty quick. And then it's going to go. You got to make the sound effects too. So we're going to do that. Obviously, you want to play with some of this stuff too. Hit. So if it does keyframe there, and then it would rock a little bit, you know? Ting, and then have it go back to there. See, it's just like little simple stuff. So then, like I said, you can go back to this. Let's see if I can turn the, let me turn on the joint tool. Let's see if this even retains some of our, actually did some weird stuff there. Maybe you actually would want it like, oops, whoa. So that needs to get squished back down quicker. Yeah, see, now we're giving it. See, now it feels like it's jumping just by stretching it a little bit. Let me check the chat really quick. So, and when it's coming down, you could have it maybe it's over here. We could do like a little bit of a rotation thing. Actually, maybe we should have done it right here. Like it's kicking its legs out. And I'm going to turn the auto key and see if that helps us too. And then here, we're going to rotate it back, but stretch it. And then it's going to, maybe don't stretch it. Not yet. Wonder if we could. See, that's where it needs to. When it starts going fast is when I think I need to stretch it out. And then it actually should be the most stretched there. And then there it needs to go all the way. Sometimes you can go all the way or smaller a little bit. And then it's going to need to pop back up. Wing. Good. So yeah, it's you're kind of just doing things in layers. Again, I'm not an animator. I'm wanting to get into it more, but doing things in layers can really help. So actually, I was gonna go. So if it was up, I don't think I like that part. And then if it hits, and then rocks that way, and then comes back like that. Let me see if we can just do. So yeah, it's just these little things that you can do that will give it a little bit more life. We also could do, let's turn off the auto key. There's some fun things you can add in, which I always forget you can do. That one doesn't do anything. But if you wanted on this, you can also add these fun tags like vibrate. Like, so let's say we added like a rotational vibrate. So watch what this is going to do. I'm going to crank up this. So now it's like twitching around because I added the vibrate on the bone tag. So there's cool things like that. You can also add like, I believe, dynamic tags. Let me just confirm. Let's see. Bullet. Is it the rigid body? I can't remember. Let's see. Immediately expressions. I can't remember. There's a way to do it where you do dynamics on these, but maybe it's in rigging. Let's see. Rigging. Okay, spline. I need to figure out what a lot of these do. Like even like driver, and I'm still learning a lot of this stuff. Like this. What does this do? I'll start playing with this stuff later. But so yeah, that's one cool thing. So the other cool thing I wanted to show you guys is how you can use the pose morph tag, which is a really cool way to enhance stuff. So if you wanted to add, for example, folds, like see how it's just kind of bending, but if we wanted to like have it look like it's folding over itself, come in here and we can add the pose morph tag. And we could just say, let's do it on just the points. And so it has a base pose, and then now we're going to do a new pose. And I believe if we get the sculpting tools, let's find those. Where, oh, where are my sculpting tools? Mesh, sculpt. So you think you can come in here. No, not there. Where's I wrong? Let's see. Tools. Mesh. There we go. Brushes. That's what I was looking for. Just the brushes. Let's make these a little bit bigger for you guys. So what I can do is in this pose morph right here is I'm going to be painting a new, some new detail on this. So I can come in here, let's say when it's bent over, and I wanted this to kind of like get a lumpy. Let's change the size of this. So like, you know, like when skin folds. So you can come in here. Let me know if you guys can see this box well enough. It might be getting all crazy because it's already folded, but so yeah, if you wanted to add, oop, some lumps. So now you can animate that so it slides out. And let me actually edit undo some of that because that's too much. But yeah, so now what we can do is we can, once it's ready to go, like you create a pose for that. Let's see if I can add more detail. I don't know why it's still not letting him up there, but. So I'm just painting like a little bit of that in there. And then let me put this under subdivide so you can see that smoothed. I know this is crappy, but I'm just trying to demonstrate the idea. So yeah, that's in there. And then you go to animate and we can turn off this pose. So when it bends like this, we can say, set a keyframe. And when it gets to the bend, we're going to say, hey, it doesn't need to go fully, but this is like really good for like skin or like fingers, like, you know, your fingers. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So like in your hand, when your hand like does those little lines, so you could use pose morph to kind of get those little things in there by sculpting like this, which is really neat. So yeah, now I come in here, you can set a keyframe. So now you can see when it bends, because sometimes like the first thought is, oh, well, I'll just simulate, you know, like something, but you can get away with so many things like this just by doing like sculpting your own little. See, it's not like a cloth, it's not skin, it's you just painting. So let's say like right here, we wanted to create another pose. I'd come in here, say add a pose. And I believe if I hit the, yeah. So the only disadvantage, it looks like it has a hard time when it's being warped quite a bit. But let's just say I wanted these like stretching lines in here. So like when it jumps, it'll do that. So we have that pose, we have base pose, we have this pose. Okay, let's go back to animate. And obviously we gotta turn this one off first. So it does the crinkle, and then when it gets to here, we could set a keyframe on the next pose. And when it stretches, we could, it doesn't need to be fully, but we could just have this look like that's going on. And then when it gets up to the top, turn that off, set a keyframe. But let's just say we are like wanting more pose, like more detail in there, we could just keep painting. Let me read some of your chats really quick. Why not Houdini? Houdini's great, but I'm just showing Cinema 4D stuff today. I'm sure I'll do a Houdini one again. So yeah, now let's play this back and you can kind of start seeing. So see those little details that we just added in? See when it stretches there again, maybe I could add that pose in again. So you'd say, come to here, set a keyframe. When it stretches, add that like stretching kind of effect, and then turn it off. We could add, I could come in here, turn this one so that when it hits, maybe it squishes. And then it goes off. So see that it's instead of simulating, like this was, yeah, you can simulate, but sometimes you can do stuff like this to get away with, you don't have to do it oh, I have to simulate. And if you have specific things you're trying to do, this is just like a really, really fast way of getting what you need. This is also a really cool way to do stuff like bending metal. It's so subtle, but you know, some people tend to be like, why does it feel like more organic? And it's like, how did you simulate? Was that like a skin cloth thing? You're like, nope, I just painted some simple stuff in there and it works. So that's the point I'm trying to make. It's simple, but it works. If you're starting to get some weird artifacting too, you can come in here and add, well, you could do a subdivide, but you also could do some smoothing stuff. That's obviously too much. There you go. Yeah, so we just smooth it out. Pretty simple. But this is just such a simple and great technique on just animating stuff. So like I said, so there's one example. So now I was going to show you the pose morph with the like just bending metal. Like if you have something flying to something else. Let's go back to geometry. Okay, so we're just gonna hit this cube. We're gonna have some sphere. I'm gonna crank up this time I'm gonna make this one really subdivided. But we're just gonna take this sphere and we're gonna say, hey sphere, some position we need to get you. You're gonna hit this corner right there. So it should hit it pretty quick. So I'm just gonna do a quick, we'll do some auto keyframes. And I'm actually going to group these together. Let me make sure. Okay, yeah, now I'm going to group them. Oops, why didn't I go back to that? Group. Let's try this again. There we go. So when this hits, so the first thing too is I need to make sure that this is set to linear. So it's going just, no, that doesn't look like it's going linear still. Nope, it's not. That's weird. Both these need to be selected. There we go. And it's not fast enough because this thing I want it to look like it's going really fast. And then it's going to, we're going to take this and I'm going to move the position of this thing down. Hopefully that didn't animate it. Yes, it did. Okay, we're just going to try something else. I'm going to set a keyframe. before, and when it's hitting right there. Wish I had the other cube. It's kind of distracting, huh? Maybe it's rotated too much. Let's try this again. Sorry if you hear my kids all getting ready for bed. I wish I had an anchor point in the right spot because I was going to do it off the corner, but now I'm just going to eyeball it. So it's going to like slide a little bit. And I'll make sure that these keyframes are all good after. And then it's going to come back down. Let's see if I can get the rotation. There we go. Although it looks like it slides that way, and I don't want that. So, okay. We're just going to do this as a pretend project. What's your take on Clarice? I love Clarice. Clarice is amazing. It's super fast. I'm going to be doing a lot more stuff with it. So look forward to that. So now what I was going to show you guys is let's make this sphere editable, or this cube editable. Bink. Don't mind the animation. This is more about the pose morph stuff. So what we're going to do, sorry, that animation is bothering me. I'm going to kill all of the rotation. There we go. Better. And I don't like that it's going that way either. There we go. That's good enough. So back to what I was doing. I'm going to come in here, going to add the rigging and go into the pose morph. Turn off auto keyframes. So yeah, we have this, and then when it hits, this is the fun part. Do points, and now we get to go back in and we can take the flatten tool. There it is. Whoa. We're gonna make that smaller. So yeah, now we can come in here to the pose, and let's start posing it. I'm gonna hide this sphere for a second. So I may have had too many subdivisions. But yeah, now. So now it looks like, you know, we're getting like a smashed piece of metal. You can come in here. Me oh my. This did not like that I subdivided it too many times. That height's too intense, so we gotta. I didn't even do that many steps, and it's not liking that. So I'm gonna turn the pressure. Come in here. Turn on the pressure even more. And then get the I shouldn't scrape. Smooth tool. smooth some of this out. Especially the ends. Maybe we'll try a scrape tool too. Oh, there we go. And turn the sphere back on so I can kind of see where I'm going. So yeah, then actually what we could do is that, let's see, the wax tool maybe would give us the right look. Like where the sphere is hitting too might be where we'd want to draw like some of like these rippled lines, like it just stuck right in there. And then we'll fold them. Let me also do, that's a little bit better. Like I said, I'm showing these techniques because these are just little things that you can do to make these things look a little bit cooler when you're animating. Come on now. There we go. I think people forget about the awesome sculpt tools they have here in Cinema and how quick they are. Like, they're pretty rad. I know Blender has a really good sculpt package too, but I've been playing with Cinemas and it's actually, you can do some really cool stuff. So maybe always start bigger first and then kind of come in and do these smaller details. This is not good. I definitely subdivided this thing too many times. What do you guys think? Is that looking pretty fun? Should we turn it on and see what exactly what damage we did? See if I can go the smooth tool. Again, I should have a reference right now just to see what metal would look like bent, but I'm not doing that right now just because we're going to be going off eyes. Just this is more about the techniques that you can do versus the actual look. Okay. So I think we're ready to animate this, and I'm going to turn it off. Go back to this frame, keyframe, and then boom. Maybe we could even give it a couple frames too if we wanted, so it really looks like it. Again, I think it's playing back a little slower because I subdivided it too many times. So what I can do, if you're having trouble playing back stuff, you can come in here and make a preview. 1920. I think this one I did in 30 frames. So you'll see down here it's calculating the preview. We're just going to do that really quick. I'm going to read a couple chats while that's going. Oh, there it is. Just kidding. So that's super fast. We could slow the whole thing down. It's really good to also like cache out your animation when you're doing the stuff to see how fast things are moving, because clearly This is all going way too fast. So let's turn off that. Let me just grab those two. Pose morph is coming in a little late. That's a little too slow. Let's just do a quick preview again. All right, let me read some chats. So let's see. You guys are quiet. I'm not seeing very many chats today. Unless it's like turned off. Nope. You guys are just quiet. That's okay. Anyway, you get the idea. Don't pay attention to the animation, but the technique. It's really cool just being able to paint detail in when you need it. So this is good for like faces, like skin, metal, organic stuff pretty much, and a little bit of destruction too. So yeah, that's just a technique I wanted to share with you guys. The other technique is using, I was going to show you as well, is using deformers to make stuff look cool too. So now we have, let me turn this one off really quick. So yeah, we have this. So we did like a rigged, fully rigging that thing. But there's also things you can do to get away with that, which is using deformers. So again, if we decided to, this time we're just going to wait a little bit, and I'm going to have this, we're going to turn this up to like only 50, 50, 50 instead of 500. Auto keyframe, make this thing editable. Do first keyframe here. We're going to have it just go straight up, and then it'll hang, and then it'll fly back down. Again, with the position, oops, copy that one over. So right now, obviously that looks terrible, but let's see how to make this look cool. I can turn this whole thing down to 60 frames. So yeah, how to make this cool? Well, the first thing like we did before is play with the curve. So I want this thing to get here quick, but I don't want it to leave this one quick. And it's coming down to fast. There we go. Let me make sure all these other things are turned off because it's going way too slow for what this is. Sometimes even if you have these things hidden but you don't have them off, it will actually make things go really slow. So there you go. There's a little, I don't know why it's still going a little slow. Thought everything would be off, but apparently like, again, did I do too many subdivisions? Probably. Look at that. I might kind of quickly decimate this thing. Sorry, guys. Wait, does this actually go in here? Yeah, it just still doesn't care about that. Maybe I can do. Just kidding. Okay, we're gonna keep moving. Sorry, I get distracted easy. Okay, we're just gonna keep going on. So yeah, you can come in here and you can use the cool things like the bulge effect. So I'm gonna go back into here. I'm gonna make it a child, and you can do fit to parent, which is a good way to do this. And then, so let's say we want it to like, maybe we want it to like squish out a little bit. Actually, we're gonna do this too. Like it's doing a little bit of anticipation. So we're gonna animate the scale. But in order to do that, we also need, let me think about this. We need to make sure we are scaling from the floor. So I'm gonna move this thing down here. I'll make this a child of that. So now I believe, yeah. Perfect. Oh no, it moved the whole thing. Come on. Okay, so then we're gonna set a keyframe. Yeah, I can have it. Keeps moving it. Can I move this one? Let's see. All right, we're just gonna do that. So offset everything, but that's okay. So yeah, we're gonna make an animation on the scaling of this. So believe we can do. Can turn off rotation and just do scale. Hit keyframe. Come right here. Keyframe. Okay, I didn't do it. I don't know about you guys, but I get so annoyed when I can't hit keyframes like that. I have to come in here and do it, which is a little weird to me, but whatever. It's doing that. And I'd want it to hold and then get back to a point. But also, why isn't it? Let's go into here, here. Where's that button? Is it this? No. Trying to do the full screen. So we're going to do the same type of thing that. So yeah, it's going to build a little bit of anticipation. It's going to go up, and then in the mid, I was going to have this thing stretch out. So this is just another take without using the bones. And then, of course, you want it to go when it gets to the top. It needs to get back to where it was. Stretch. Actually, it can even go, it could actually even go less than that. So it's like overshooting. It's like up, but I think we didn't get there correctly. Or it's because it's from the top. Either way, that doesn't look right. Because it's squishing from the top. So we're not going to do that. But we are going to, when it gets there, just for that one frame, stretch it. Wink. Yeah, I don't like whatever that did. It's because it's going from the top. I guess that's one problem with this, but let me go back to that. See, and then when it comes to here, you could actually have it go back to there, and then copy that one, and then go back out to here. Oh, let's move this guy over. Move it over more. All right, that's good enough. So, okay, we have that in there. Let's take a look at how we can just amp this thing up even more. Oh, I realize, am I covering up the animation? I hope not. I tried to move myself over. Really quick, gonna check some chats. YouTube. We're good? Okay. So yeah, now you can come in here and do the bulge effect. So what I would do is set a keyframe, and when it goes down like this, we just bulge it out. Set a keyframe. And then when it goes there, obviously bring it back. But you'd want to make sure we're kind of doing that same curve. Maybe we went too early. There we go. And when it gets to there, bulge, you can taper it in so it's like getting skinnier. But it needs to go, when it gets back to the top, it needs to go back to 0. And then it could even go, honestly, at this top, it could even like go a little bit chubbier. And then maybe it goes back in. And then right here, it needs to go squish again. And then when it hits, and of course, we need to get back to its original state. And let's see what this looks like. Let's go just geometry only. It's a little too wobbly at the top. Maybe I overdid it on some of this stuff. So I'm going to try to bring it a little bit closer to what it's supposed to be, because it might have just been over the top. Here you go. So you got this looping little bouncy thing by using like a bulge. You can use, so just by using these deformers, you can do some really, really cool stuff. Let's throw, what would a jiggle do? Should we see what a jiggle will do? Oh, so that added a little bit more. Why not just layer these things, you know? turn up the stiffness, turn down the structural. Let's see if this. So I added a teeny bit. Is deformers are a great way to just add in a little bit more life. So yeah, so we're just getting a little bit more life in there. Turn down the springiness. What does the drag do? There we go. Then you have other things, so you could use twist, melt. Let's see, correction mesh. Wrap, morph. Anyway, trying to think of other things that look really cool. Yeah, those are a bunch of fun little tricks in there. So we did a deformer effect. We did a pose morph of a cube getting smashed. Those of you that missed some of this. I think that now I'm looking at that, and that pose morph, it needs to be earlier for sure. Let's move this one up. Yeah, so you do that cool little pose morph where we're getting all this detail. I just realized the cube's moving. I don't know why the cube's moving yet. It's not supposed to. That's not supposed to happen. Anyway, yeah, we did a cool little effect like that. Painted in some of that detail. And then try to hide all this stuff. And then those of you that missed this one, come on now. This was using the bones and some pose morph stuff so that you can use pose morph to get some of that little detail stuff. So it looks like this is simulated, but it's all just using pose morph and painting, sculpting some of those effects in. So pretty cool stuff. Do you guys have any questions? Any questions? I was gonna show you guys other little tricks if you guys want to see. Let me think which one to do. I think there was a let me start giving me this cloth one, fake cloth one. Plane. These are just fast. And then you'd have a path for the plane. So we could just do like a helix. Oh, that's what we can't see it. You can take a plane and you can do spline rail. Make sure I do this right. Spline rail, spline rail. Is that the right one? Maybe it's a different one. Let me try the other one. Spline wrap. Maybe that was it. Yeah, this is it. So, if you're wanting to do some cool clothy stuff, let me flip the helix so it's in a different position, like that. And I'm going to increase the subdivisions quite a bit. And then what you can do is add a displacer. And you can come in here and add a noise. If you want to make some fake cloth look, and we could do maybe a smoother. There we go. Make it a little bit smoother. And you can take the end of it and the noise. You could add some animation in here. Think which way it's going to go. Speed's too fast. Speed's still too fast. That, and then you can come in and do animate the spline wrap. You can also add, if you feel like your helix is too boring, like it's too uniform, you can also add, like, let's see, we could do, maybe let's try wind effector on the helix. Obviously turn it down. Let me see if this does it. See, it's just a fake way to create some cloth. Oh yeah, and the spline wrap. Oh yeah, the rails. If you duplicate your helix, and then you take this is your rail. You can kind of flip the direction, but let's animate. So if you like wanted to animate some type of cloth doing something interesting, let's see if we could just do like, you know what, I can turn off the rails. I'm just gonna turn it off. I don't want to do that. And even this wind, I'm gonna see if I can turn it. Way down. I'm gonna turn off that wind. I don't like that. You could, because right now we have it's like kind of undulating on that, but we could add, I'm curious if we could add like the wind on. We sure can. And let's animate this thing finally. Come in here. Spline wrap to the end. It's kind of cool, and you can see it's like moving. So I am curious if I did like a cloth deformer on this thing. Like a cloth simulation. Should we try? See what happens. Let's try cloth. the new cloth, I believe you can make it so it follows. Let's see. Hey, did I break it? It's not liking that. Let me go back. I'm gonna turn. Let's see if I can turn the subdivisions down. Nope, I need them higher than that. That doesn't work. So let's try this again. Let's see if there's a. Cloth? Because I know the new one's supposed to be better. And I thought you could do it on animated things. So mix animation. Follow shape. Nope, it just fell into a space. With pins. So I think I need to pin this thing. Where'd it go? Oh, it's right there. So I think if I create some pins, let's go into here and let's do, oh man, which one is it? Maybe I have to do like a weight paint or something. What do you guys think? What should I do? Maybe I'll try this another time, guys, because I don't know if that's gonna work. And we're getting pretty late. So let me go back to this. Anyway, I just want to show you guys some cool techniques. Just some things that are kind of neat. I just realized the other thing we could do is rotate this thing on the banking. Why didn't I do that before? I have no idea. Because even that's kind of cool. Add a little bit of variation to this thing, you know? I'm going to exaggerate. I'm going to turn up the noise scale for the cloth and the displacer. And we're going to increase the height. And the other thing you can do is add in the cloth. What is it called? The cloth. Simulate. Where is it? Cloth. Where is it? Is it in here? Not that. The cloth object. Where is it? Give me 1 second. I know someone's watching this right now and they're like, no, it's over there. Spline, tools, create. cloth surface. Don't tell me it was right here. There it was the whole time. Of course. Put that in a cloth surface because we can give this thing some thickness. So now it's not just a plane, but we can give it a little bit of thickness. It feels more cloth-like. Bulging? Sure. Isn't that fun? I think it's fun. You can still see stepping. So I probably would have to throw in a subdivision first, and that got rid of that, yeah. Yeah, so if you're doing like a product and you're like, hey, I need like a guided cloth sim. I'm gonna turn off the subdivision, so I do the subdivisions last, but quick way to just create some fake cloth right in there. I'm gonna turn up the speed just for exaggeration. Yeah, I think we could add a kind of a similar displacer onto this. Oops. Let me see if I can just copy this one over. Come in here. I'm going to crank up the scale. And I'm going to come in here. There we go. Kind of a cool technique, right? Just to be able to create some fake cloth. Anyway, those are some animation tips, some little deformer tips. That's all I was going to do today. Oh yeah, Shift C, and I could have searched it. You're correct. Gonna check Sam. How's it going? Sam Media. Thanks for joining. I'm just about done. It's just kind of a different stream. We did something a little bit more simple. We'll do some cool rendering stuff another day. I was gonna ask you guys, how would you feel if I started doing basically short courses, because I've had so many courses I've been trying to complete. The problem, the current predicament I am in is when I'm doing these courses, when I'm doing these courses, basically they take a really long time, and then by the time I'm ready to release them, the software is already outdated, so some of the techniques changed. So that's been a problem. But I'm thinking if I do shorter courses, so the idea is I do, instead of like a $200 course or whatever, I do like a $30, $20 to $30 course, shorter, sweeter, to the point. But it would be all these things I've been wanting to teach, like CG integration into a shot. And what I'm thinking is on YouTube, I would release probably like a 15-minute tutorial to kind of get you guys like seeing what we're doing. And then if you want to see the rest of it, jump over and purchase the full thing. So that's the thought. And I'm curious what you guys would think. Because I'm wanting to try some different things. I'm wanting to get out more content. But I have all these ideas, and the problem is the big courses just take too much time. They did really well. People liked them, but the problem is the software got outdated quickly, and so it was hard to stay on top of it. So thinking about doing shorter courses, and I'm curious what you guys would think. Also, let me know in the comments what stuff you guys are wanting to see. Do you enjoy the Cinema 4D techniques? Do you want to see more Houdini stuff? Clarice? What stuff are you guys interested in? I've been playing with Blender too a little bit. I love Blender. I think it's an amazing tool, but I don't want to get stretched too thin on learning like 18 different things. And so I might kind of close that book and wait until if I do want to try it again, but may just push that aside, may just stick to like Cinema, Houdini, Clarice, Nuke. What do you guys think? Anyway, lots of questions. Thanks for joining, guys. It's just fun, quick one. I'm going to try to do this every week, so look forward to next week. Again, in the comments, let me know if there's something specific you're really wanting to learn, see, and I'm happy to show you guys and show you. I'll do a little bit of practice. If you let me know in the comments, I can kind of warm up so that by the time next week comes, I'll have something really nicely prepared for you. Anyway, thanks again, guys, and hope you have a good evening, good morning, wherever you are.